The Nittany Lions just wrapped up a 31-0 win over the Iowa Hawkeyes, and as you can tell, it's a pretty raucous atmosphere here tonight. The black part of the turf should only be a couple degrees hotter than the other colors. Let's check it out. Starting with the black part, we're getting a reading of 98.4. Then we move over to the white, 96.8. As you can see, a pretty negligible difference. Derek, you've been coming to this course since 1995. Some of your favorite memories here?
Each threw out a first pitch at Yankee Stadium before a game in July, and I asked both how their pitches go. They both said fast, but a little inside. That could be a sign for today's game, as these two rivals aren't afraid to hit each other.
Pitchers are usually the tallest players on the field, but Stewart takes that to another level, standing at 6'9". Army football features players from 39 different states across the country, including right here in New York. Stepping onto this ice right here, looking out for a playoff game, all these seats packed. What's that rush going to feel like?
That's good.
The green's up there, but I'm down here in one of the many sand traps that surround the green. This is an important hole for golfers. Syracuse hosts Louisville in both their season and ACC opener tonight at the newly renamed JMA Wireless Dome. And for Syracuse, the key is going to be running the football. A clear mind is a clear shot. Pull! Earlier this season, you were at Stanford, you were at Maine, flying back and forth. What's it like to finally be back home? Jackie's rhythm doesn't stop when she steps off the field. In the dugout, she's always shouting encouragements, and even those have a certain flow to them.
Fans are already pouring in to get a chance to see Verlander go to work. According to reports, he'll throw 3 to 4 innings, and if things go well, he'll be back up in the major leagues as soon as next week.
The new turf field at SUNY Morrisville is complete. And yes, it's supposed to look like that.
This is a black field. I was like, what did we just do?
It's the first black field in the NCAA. And pretty quickly, it was making headlines across the country and the globe.
We have this unique moment where people are paying attention to this small, regional, agricultural-based, school in upstate New York. It boggles my mind.
The main feedback is that a black field will get too hot to play on, but that's not the case.
It's currently 79 degrees and partly sunny here in Morrisville today. So according to research from Penn State University and Brigham Young University, the black part of the turf should only be a couple degrees hotter than the other colors. Let's check it out. Starting with the black part, we're getting a reading of 98.4. Then we move over to the white, 96.8. As you can see, a pretty negligible difference.
SUNY Morrisville is also located in upstate New York, a place where it cools off pretty quickly.
We looked at what our average temperatures are. I mean, we're looking at September where we're playing most of our fall sports games. Our average temperature high is going to be about 65.
Now with August just days away, teams are about to start practicing on the new surface.
The players are excited. They're going to be the first team, that gets on that turf. So I think they're just excited about being able to have a unique experience, right? A different experience.
Then the public will get their first chance to see it in September when games get started.
I think it's going to be just an absolutely amazing experience, that first game. So I look forward to it.
The official opening is still a couple weeks away, but the field is already prepared for game time. For the first time in decades, Army football looks different.
It's a lot more space. It's a lot more opportunities to give playmakers the ball.
A rule change eliminating perimeter and downfield cut blocks is forcing the Black Knights to move away from the under-center triple option they've been known for and go to a shotgun approach.
The biggest thing for me personally is being in the backfield instead of the three-point stance and the triple. That's definitely different, seeing what's in front of you before making those big decisions to make a cut.
This new style affects every position, including the offensive line, where Shenango Forks alum Lucas Scott is entering his junior season.
We throw a little more, our stance is a little different, so it's a lot more, running in space and just beating people up front, so it's fun.
Army still has high expectations, even with this change. The program has been to 5 bowl games in the past 7 years, and winning is the standard at West Point, something Scott is used to after his time with the Blue Devils.
I think it's prepared me really well. I mean, you set expectation when you're young of winning, you know what I'm saying? So being at Shenango Force got me used to winning, so I think it's carried well here where our goal is to win every game every year.
Very competitive, blue-collar, tough, rugged football, but I think that's the state of New York. That's the personality of New York. You think of New Yorkers, you think of tough.
Players with those traits shape the mentality of the program, which is staying the same.
Our philosophy hasn't changed. We want to be a tough, run the football, rugged football team, and certainly have that personality on offense.
2023 may be a season of change for the Black Knights, but only in how the team looks.
When you think of longtime college football rivalries, there's always a couple that come to mind. But how about Syracuse versus Colgate? The two schools first met way back in 1891 and have had 68 all-time meetings. Today was the latest installment as both teams kicked off their seasons.
The Binghamton High School football team was on the road today taking on Proctor High School in Utica, where there was a confirmed shooting. According to the Utica Police Department, the incident occurred at the high school right after the game, leaving one victim injured.
While it's early season for football, it's almost playoff time for baseball, and the Binghamton Rumble Ponies are as hot as they've been all season. They've won 6 straight games, and today they're trying to extend it as they close out their series against Harrisburg. Ponies going for their first 6-game sweep in franchise history tonight.
Now, 3 decades later, the Bearcats are in Division I and coming off their 5th NCAA tournament appearance as they play in a brand new $60 million facility. At the start of the new year, the Binghamton men's basketball squad has looked like a completely new team. After going just 4-10 to open the season, once the calendar flipped to 2023, the Bearcats have won 2 straight and are towards the top of the standings. After spending the first 3 weeks of the season on the road, the UE Tigers finally returned to a new and improved Ty Cobb Stadium tonight, putting their number 19 ranking in Class A on the line as they hosted the Corning Hawks. And to celebrate the new stadium, the UE players marched down the steps of the new stands before charging out onto the field.